Hello, let's graph this piecewise function. But before that, what is a piecewise function? A piecewise function is a function with multi-parts. In this example, this function has two parts. F of x equals 2x if x is greater than or equal to 1, that's the first part. And f of x equals -5 if x is strictly less than 1. So when x is equal to 1, that divides the number line into two parts. So to graph this function, the first thing we are going to do is we are going to draw the y-axis. This is the y-axis and the x-axis. So this is the x-axis. So let me draw this down a little bit. Okay, so like I said, when x is equal to 1, it divides the graph into two parts. So let's locate when x is equal to 1. So I have 1 here. So it divides it into two parts, and I'm just going to draw a dotted line over x equals 1. Okay, so let's draw the first part. So usually when you want to draw a piecewise function, just take it one step at a time. Draw each part at a time. So let's draw the first part, which is this. For convenience, I'm going to write y is equal to f of x. So I'm going to draw a little table there, here. So this y is equal to 2x. So I'm looking at the first part now. And this x. So what are the possible x value I can take? The possible x value are 1, 2, 3, all the way through to infinity, right? Because the interval here is just going to be, the interval here is going to be 1 to infinity. So that means I can take 1, I can take 2, I can take 3. So I'm just going to take 1 and 2. And I'm going to plug this x value into y is equal to 2x. So I have 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. So when x is 1, y is 2. So when x is 1, my y on the graph, so I want to graph now, my y is 2. So when x is 1, y is 2. And when x is 2, y is 4. So I'm going to put 2 here. When x is 2, my y is 4. When x is 2, y is 4. So I'm going to put a dot there, a point. The next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to draw a straight line connecting those 2 points. And I'm going to draw it up because my x is greater than or equal to 1. It's going all the way to infinity. So I'm going to use this column. Draw a straight line connecting those 2 points. It's going up. I'm going to put an arrow. The arrow shows that it's going to infinity. And because I have x greater than or equal to, so I'm emphasizing on the equal to part, I'm going to shade this part. I'm going to shade this. The equal to means x equals 1 is included. Okay, so we've done the first part. We've drawn the first part of the function. Now the second part, which is y is equal to -5. So I'm just going to put the same thing when y is equal to -5. So, but this is defined for x strictly less than 1. So I'm going to take 0. So let me just do this and write the interval notation, which is be negative infinity to 1. But in this case, I'm using parentheses to close the interval because 1 is not included. 1 is not included. So that means in that interval, 0 is in that interval, -1 is in that interval, -2 is in that interval. So I'm just going to take 0 and -1. So if you look at this function is a constant function. There's no x. So when x is 0, my y is -5. When x is -1, my y is -5 because it's -5. If x is -2, my y will still be -5. So it's a constant function. So when x is 0, let's come to the graph now. When x is 0, y is -5. -5 is here. So y is -5. When x is -1, y is still -5, right? Because just line down. When x is -2, sorry, my line is not that straight, but y is still -5, and it just keep going. When x is -3, y is still -5. So I'm just going to just connect those points together and then keep going to negative infinity, right? Because it's x strictly less than 1. So however, I'm not yet done. What about this part of the graph? What is going to be there? So I'm just going to extend this. I'm going to extend this graph to that point. Now I have, because x is strictly less than 1 is not included. I'm going to put an open circle there showing that x equals 1 is not included in that part of the graph. And that's it. Pretty graph. That's it. That's the graph of the function f of x equals 2x if x is greater than or equal to 1, and -5 if x is strictly less than 1. Hope this helps. Thank you.